Attention coffee lovers. Are you tired of bland, uninspired coffee that leaves you feeling underwhelmed? It's time to upgrade your coffee game with Strong Coffee Company. Strong Coffee is specially crafted to deliver a bold and powerful flavor that will keep you energized, focused throughout the day. Made with premium beans sourced from the best coffee growing regions around the world, Strong Coffee is expertly roasted to bring you out the rich, complex flavors that make each cup a truly satisfying experience. But that's not all. Strong Coffee Company also offers a variety of benefits to enhance your coffee experience. The coffee is packed with natural ingredients like MCT oil and grass-fed collagen protein, which can boost your health, energy, support your healthy skin, joints, and more. Plus, the convenient single-serve packets made it easy to enjoy coffee on the go, at work, or while traveling. And now, for a limited time only, Strong Coffee is offering a special promotion for new customers. Use the promo code CHAMP at checkout and receive 15% off your first purchase. So why settle for mediocre coffee when you can experience the bold and invigorating flavor of Strong Coffee Company along with its many benefits? Head to their website, strongcoffee.com, and place your order today using the promo code CHAMP for an unbeatable deal.
Real show, here we go. Real show, here we go. You know that it's gotta be that time, so this is what we chant. What keeps on getting them all amped in advance? Come on. You and I rocking out with Iron Man, F.E. You get the general's point of view on top of Roger's rants. Whenever tapping out, we're putting the most minutes in. You already know what that's about, you know that winners win. Crush whatever's on task, check the podcast. It's the champ and the tramp, let the bomb blast.
I could take that knife, stab him right in his chest.
For a violent guy, you're really not violent unless it's like a.
I mean, honestly, like,
Unless it's a bunch of like bennies on the boardwalk.
That's
that are
what I
talking
said.
shit, you know?
Like,
I feel like all of us, right, have a natural tendency to want to fight dudes that aren't from the area.
that's just you want to rip your hood,
Right.
Kinda,
Right. They're in our hood.
Yeah.
You want to be like, get the out of it.
Yeah.
I remember, you remember my old roommate Scott and Vic?
Yeah.
I used to live with them down off Fisher Boulevard. We all lived together, and we were out one night, and we were pulling into not the new Wawa, the old. Well, it's still there actually. The Wawa on the corner of across from the breakfast place, the little one, in the strip mall. Yeah, we were pulling in there from 37, and it's kind of a tight little driveway to pull in, and there was a car from New York pulling out, and there wasn't enough room for us to pull in. So Vic's like laying on the horn. We're coming from the clubs in Seaside. We're all banged up, right? We're probably going to a fucking after party or something, right? Excuse me. Effing after party, and bleep that, and I could see the plate clearly says New York on it, right? They were in like a blacked out SUV, and Vic lays on the horn, like throws his hands up, and these guys jump out, right? We're not even in the parking lot yet, and these guys jump out, and they're definitely New York boys, like Brooklyn, Bronx boys, whatever, you know what I mean? Talking shit, right? So we squeeze in past them. They back up, and it just goes down, bro. We just start.
You guys fight? You fought?
Oh, yeah, bro. It was like, I think there was 3 of us, 4 of them, and it's going down. And I remember I got this kind of chubby kid, right? He wasn't scared to fight. And I'm squaring off with this chubby kid. And I remember somehow I got a hold, I grabbed at his neck, and he had this huge gold chain on, right? It was massive. And
Was the real thing was real?
Oh, bro, I sold it. It was 100% real.
You got it? You got it?
I got it and sold
Hell
it.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Anyway, I'm teeing off on this dude. I got his chain, because, that's what it was. Never mind. He took it off and was trying to whip me with it. That's what it was. He was trying to whip me with his chain. Now I remember.
Pretty good.
So I got it in my hand, ripped it away from him, and someone yelled, cops are coming, cops are coming. I think there was a cop on the other side of Route 37 with his lights, and he had to bang the unit. And they all jumped in the car, and this kid's like, he's got my chain. He's got my chain. I can't leave, right? I was like, yeah, look, I got your chain, right? This thing was huge, bro. I took it to a pawn shop and sold it.
It wasn't a change, it was Benoit boy.
No, it was real gold, bro. I forget what I got for it, $500 or something, but
Really?
it was probably worth thousands, but
Yeah. That's funny.
Yep.
I felt like Seaside in high school. You could drive if you could just drive up and down 37 and get into a fight with somebody.
Yep. But almost never with guys here.
No.
It's always dudes from New York. Always.
Yeah.
Yep. They come down and act like it's their
I used to love
Tommy cheese balls.
I used to love it because being on the boardwalk, they'd be like, getting somewhere. I'm from New York. I'm from right here. Right here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different. I will say this. It's a different way of fighting down here than I grew up. Growing up in a little town in Maine, I never saw people get jumped. I never saw, like 5-on-2. It was always just a bunch of dudes in a parking lot after the bar closed. The bar was closed up there at 1 o'clock. Pete and Larry's was the name of the bar. It was the bar inside of the Holiday Inn in Ellsworth, Maine. And that was the nearest bar to us that was any good at all. It was probably 45-minute ride from my house. Closed at 1, bro. Last call was at like 12:30, right? So you're there at like 9 o'clock. You're drinking at like 9 o'clock, right? I mean, I moved here when I was 22, I think. So I had like a year of drinking in Maine, right? I actually had a fake ID for a while too. But there was a Navy base in Winter Harbor with, we called them squids. They were Navy guys, right? And it was a small base, but they would always be out at the bars. They were from all over the country, but they were dicks, They were always trying to get the girls, our girls. Bro, get your dirty Ohio hands off our girls, you know what I mean? And it was always a problem with these guys. And me and my buddy Phil were always fighting squids, right? But either he was fighting one in the parking lot and the whole bar was watching, like the local guys and the Navy guys, and you would just watch it go down. Best man would win.
And it was fair, always.
Always. I never saw people getting kicked in the face or jumped until I moved to Jersey and got my ass handed to me, bro.
You thought the guy was going to give
you
the civil handshake and
no,
fair one?
So I really, it was probably the worst beating I ever got in my life, but it was by numerous people. I used to live with this kid Mike in Whiting, and he liked the Nubian queens. He liked the black girls, right? So there was a club out in was it Browns Mills or out that way? Browns Mills, I think, and it was called. Oh God, what was the name of it? It doesn't matter. I can't think of the name of it, but he would go out there.
Hunka Bunka?
No, Hunka Bunka. Hunka Bunka was my joint. I got my pinky broke by a bouncer at Hunka Bunka one time.
Your pinky,
yeah,
sounds so rough.
No. They beat. That's another story. I'll tell that one later. But we went to this club, and they were there every weekend, and they were like the only two white boys in there. My buddy Mike and his buddy Nick, right? Well, one time they talked me into going, like, come on, bro, come on. So I went in there. I just sat at the bar the whole time. One time I got up to go pee. I don't know. It was a unusual scene for me. I was just like, I'd never been there before, so I was probably a little nervous, you know what I mean? I just felt like the most white boy ever, right, sitting there at the bar. And they were having the time of their life. They're on the dance floor, right? I'm just giving them thumbs up, like, yeah. And I'm probably 22, 23 years old. I'm
skinny,
right? Totally out of my element, you know what I mean?
You don't even know what rap music is?
Yeah.
Stuff's hurting my ears.
No, I knew what rap music was. But I went to go to the bathroom, and you had to go through the middle of the dance floor to get to the bathroom. I walked through the middle of the dance floor, and I'm trying, just to kind of like squeeze my way. Well, one dude didn't want me walking by him, and she shoulder checks me, right?
You said she?
No, dude.
Okay.
Shoulder checks the shit out of me, right? So I'm like, I knew better. I'm like, this is probably not the best place. I'm going to fucking, you know what I mean? But I registered in my head, you know what I mean? I remember you remember Kangol hats?
Yeah.
He had a Kangol hat on, right? Okay. So,
hello, cool J.
So I just went back. I sat down. I was like, fucking shut your fucking mouth. Just sit here. Let the boys do the thing. Have fun, right? Well, the end of the night comes. Place closes down. Or is closing down. Everybody's kind of on their way out. Well, we're parked in the back, bro, in a big dirt parking lot. Big black dirt parking lot. No lights, right? There's no lights back there at all. So,
you said it was a black parking lot? What do you mean by that?
You fucking idiot. Black as in dark, you fucking moron. See, you made me swear. We're trying to swear less on this show. So, anyway, no lights. And I go to walk out before them to go to the car, right? And the guy with the Kangol hat on is at the door. So, on my way out. So I just walked by and I said, nice hat. Like an idiot, like an asshole, right? And he's like, oh, you motherfucker, you fucking white boy, you know what I mean? And I didn't realize he followed me into the back parking lot, right? Well, him and a couple of his buddies, right? So now, and the club is emptying out. Oh, I think it was called Mercedes, I think. But anyway, it's emptying out. So more and more people are coming out. And this guy wants to fight, right? So I'm like, fuck, why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say that?
Like, dude, I really like your hat. Where'd you get it?
Yeah. No, he knew, right? He just didn't like me from the start, right? So I get to the car. Car's locked because they got the keys. They're still inside, right? I'm like, fuck, this is bad. This is not good, right? So this guy starts talking shit, calling me all these names and stuff. And then it was just on. Me and him start scrapping. People are out there. There's a whole bunch. There's a pretty good sized crowd out there watching it go down. And I'm giving what I got. I'm trying to, I'm doing all right against this guy. I remember we slammed off a couple cars. I'm only 21. I'm not like big like I am now, but I grew up brawling, fighting. I could hold my own. So we're fucking bouncing off cars. People are chiming in. Everybody's on his side. Nobody's on my side, right?
Get that white boy.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it was, right? So we're going at it, and then Nick and Mike finally come around the corner and see me. And they're like,
They start cheering.
No,
Get him! Get him!
No, they actually tried to help me out, but before you know it, they're getting their asses kicked, right? So now it's the three white boys just getting absolutely fucking demolished in this, bad parking lot. So I remember at one point I got knocked down. I remember I was trying to get back up, and I looked and I could see Mike, my roommate, like maybe 10 feet away from me, and he was on all fours too, like trying to get up. Because he got knocked down, and somebody ran and punted his face like it was a football. I saw it, and he was out. And I was like slow motion, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck, this is not good. So finally, Nick gets in the car, just trying to start the car. They're ripping the doors open, trying to rip him out. I get in the back seat. I just kind of jump in the back seat. Quickly, I forget how he got up, but he's out of it. Mike's completely, totally out of it. And he's trying to get in the passenger side seat, and they're trying to drag us all out of the car, right? And I'm like, fuck, this is not good. Why did I have to say something about this guy's hat, right? So anyway, I remember they dragged Nick, who was trying to drive away with the car, dragged him out, beat the living shit out of him. I tried getting out. Some big chick had her ass up against the door, so I couldn't get out, right? It was bad, bro. We got the living shit kicked out of all of us. I had to call out of work the next day. I had this huge boot print on the side of my face. Mike probably didn't go to work for 2 weeks because his face was so fucked up. It was bad, bro. Yeah. So, yeah.
Lesson learned?
Lesson learned, yeah.
What was the lesson learned?
Just keep your comments to yourself. Don't talk about anybody's hat,
Yeah, but you think who's wrong in the whole ordeal?
I think, this is my take on it. I really did not go there to cause any problems. I was trying to get to the bathroom. I wasn't bumping anybody, pushing anybody. This guy just didn't like me. He just didn't like me and fucking totally shoulder checked me, and I didn't say shit.
So was it 3-on-3 and you guys just are pussies?
No, bro. It was like 3 on, I would say at least 10.
Wow,
at least, yeah.
Wow.
At
So
least.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when coming up, we always had one-on-one fights. So I've been jumped. I've been in group fights, and you gotta always know to watch your back for the situations like you were in.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if my people were fighting, we always try to fight one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is that was very early on when I was here. I've seen that a million times since.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? People fucking getting knocked down and just some
Sucker
random dude
punching.
running up and booting them in the face. I never saw that shit in
Dude,
Maine.
I
Like
saw
small
that.
towns, it's not like that.
One time, I won't put him out, but a guy we know,
I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I already know who you're talking about.
he's a cop now.
Oh no, I don't know.
We won't say who.
Okay.
He's a cop now. And I think I must have been a freshman or sophomore in high school. He was probably a junior, senior kid, and he's fighting some kid. Yeah, one-on-one fight. We had the numbers, so if we wanted to jump this kid, we would have crushed him. We didn't need to. So, like I said, if we had numbers and my guy was losing, we let our guy take the L.
Mhm.
Our guy wasn't losing, and he had a boot in, like a leg in, right, or a hook, right, in jiu-jitsu, and was pretty much riding like crossbody ride, just like bang, 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 just beating this dude up. I'm like, someone said, let him up, so lets him up, and then the dude just kind of was like on all fours.
Yeah.
And someone screamed, kick him in the face.
Exactly what happened to my friend.
And boom, this dude was also a soccer player. Kicked him in the face. This dude, I swear, he went like 5 feet in the air, and then back down. Boom. We're all like, oh! And he's like, he gets this kid like down out for like minutes. Seems like. Gets up, stumbles, like falls 15 feet down the road in some bushes again. Oh, again. Dude, this kid, I guess in retrospect, I feel bad. I mean, the kid definitely deserved a beating, so that's how it went down. But this dude had black eyes for months.
So did Mike.
For months.
So did my roommate. I looked bad, bro. Like my face, like I must have caught like a boot here that like scun up my face. So mine was like raw, like it was like bloody. But his eyes were buttoned shut. It was bad, bro. Yeah. But so he used to DJ out there once in a while. He would like fill in DJ once in a while. So they had his phone number. So the owner was named after, I think it was like Mercedes Club or something like that. The owner called him like a couple days later and said, Mike, who were you with? Who were the other two guys? Or who was the one guy? You know what I mean? Because it was always Mike and Nick, so I'm sure she knew who they were. But And he's like, why? He's like, because the guy he got into the fight with broke his arm, and he's trying to sue the club, and we're going to go after him. So Mike never gave my name up, but
wow.
yeah.
So you're saying you broke someone's arm?
I don't think I broke his arm. I think in the scramble, like rolling around the ground, bounced.
When he beating your ass,
No,
he broke his
we
arm?
bounced off these cars, bro, so hard that I think it broke when we slammed off a couple of these cars. You know what I mean? So
How can this guy sue the club for that?
Don't know.
And that was it.
That was it. He didn't give my name up, obviously. But.
All right. Speaking of fights, did you see the footage of Nate Diaz putting that dude out?
Yeah, now he's got a warrant out for him.
I know. Give me your take on all that.
I mean, I only saw like a 30-second clip, so I don't know the whole story. But the guy is standing right in front of him. I think that, I don't know who closed the distance, or they closed the distance together. It looked like maybe Nate was coming forward and he was not backing up. But I think if you don't want to fight, you shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? So I think guys have fought since the start of time. Now, I don't know if just the police picked up the charges or this guy is trying to press charges, but if this guy's a real man, don't press charges, bro. It's the dumbest thing you can do.
Okay, do you know who the guy was?
He has the lookalike for Jake.
Not Jake
Logan.
Paul. That's literally his handle.
Logan.
Not Logan Paul. That's his handle.
Yeah, he's the
kind of
lookalike.
looks like him. Looks like
a little bit. Yeah,
poor man's
yeah.
Logan Paul.
But they were talking shit because they both were coming from a fight.
Right.
And Nate had a fighter that was fighting, and he had a fighter, and they were talking shit to it. So there was shit talking.
Listen, now Nate was backed up against. He was backed up against the building. Yep. Right. I've seen a bunch of stills. He's backed up against the building. I'm just saying, like, in the court of law, right? He's backed up against the building. This dude is coming forward to him. Nate has his hands up. Looks like Nate has his hands up. Like, this guy has his hands up. Like, whoa. Mm-hmm. And Nate looked like, to me, kind of de-escalated by snapping him. They could have cracked him. Mm-hmm. He snapped him down, put him out.
Mm-hmm. He laid him down pretty easy. I think it's you know.
But I think the dude cracked the back of his head a little bit.
But he didn't hit the ground hard at all. You see, he laid him down pretty easy. Yeah. He probably just that last little kid was laying kind of on a curve. Probably that last little. It wasn't a bad injury. I doubt he even went to the hospital. But my question is, often the state will pick up charges, right? You don't have
bullshit, bro. I think he's. I think.
But if that guy's pressing charges, you're a bitch. You're a bitch.
Yeah, right.
I've been in a million fights.
But
and I've lost.
Even if the state does, right? I still don't think. Dude, did you see the video of that? The melee of those fights going on? Dude, I think Nate did. What Nate did was the most civilized out of everything going on. People are fucking cracking people and they're not looking. Come on.
The bad aspect of it for Nick is he's involved in an altercation like once a month. It's always.
No, he's not.
See, he is. He was just when I was in Newark. Last time I was in Newark, he was in a brawl in the street. Remember, he slapped that one dude.
No, he threw the beer on him.
No, Dylan Dennis's buddy, and then his buddy
he smacked somebody.
Slapped him, right? But he's often involved in. So it's only a matter of time before you catch something. You know what I mean? You're going to catch a charge eventually. But yeah, I think that depends on if the state picked up the charges. There's nothing you can do. If this guy is pressing charges, he's a bitch.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your take on it? You think that
I think it was justified. Yeah,
I didn't see the kid.
And this dude's obviously a fucking a clout chaser, right? He's literally trying to promote Prime because of
he's
Logan Paul.
Only known for looking like an actual celebrity,
you know? And he wanted some. He wanted it. He got it. Yep. Looked like he's in Nate's face. You know what that motherfucker's gonna do.
I don't understand that at all. If you're gonna scrap, you got 50-50 chance. You're either gonna win or you're gonna lose. And if you're going to lose and you're going to press charges...
Some people have more like a 99% and 1% chance.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. But what I'm saying is the average person, if you don't know your opponent, not a professional fighter like Nate or like you, but if you're just in a bar and I'm in a bar and I'm going up against a dude 250 pounds that I don't know if he can fight or not, it's a 50-50 shot in my book.
So listen to this, though, too. Damon Martin actually posted this. He's a journalist at MMA. And he said something like about this not Logan Paul dude. He's a 1-0 as a boxer.
He is?
Yeah, he's 1-0 as a boxer. He's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. He has 13 wins in jiu-jitsu.
Didn't know that.
Right? Yeah. So you know how I responded to that post? I put 13-1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But so you think that Nate shouldn't be facing any charges?
No, absolutely not. Mm-mm.
Don't you think he's got away with a fair amount, though? Like, slapping people is technically an assault, right?
No, he slapped...
By the law, I'm saying.
Not by my law.
Agreed. Same law as mine.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm not worried about other laws. I'm just saying, and he's not smacking fucking some kid walking down the street.
Right.
He's smacking a dude that's a fighter or
Right.
someone that's talking shit to him.
Right.
It's not like he's just going around smacking innocent people.
Okay, so let's put it in perspective, right? So at the most, he choked the guy out relatively quickly, let him go, didn't just drop him, let him go fairly easy. Yes, he's got probably a
Laceration,
minor
so,
injury
yeah.
to the back of his head, getting choked unconscious. That happens every day in jiu-jitsu, right? Okay, so Nate caught a charge, right? What about on stage when Chris Rock got slapped by? Why wouldn't there be a charge there?
It shouldn't be.
Never was, right?
Right.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Well, I mean,
An assault is an assault, right? Is it one because one's a bigger celebrity than the other?
probably, but also
Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, right?
I know someone was unconscious and bled. A slap.
That
The
doesn't.
slap looked almost.
But that doesn't define.
choreographed.
That doesn't define an assault. One is aggravated, right? Aggravated is with injury.
I know, bro. You're sitting there. You're trying to like.
I'm just saying what.
Split hairs here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I think. If you optics, which one looked worse? You know, and one was on stage, almost looked like it was orchestrated, right?
I'd rather get
Right?
choked out by a professional fighter than slapped by Will Smith.
Yeah, well, probably because if you got smacked by Will Smith, you'd be having a ball in your mouth.
Idiot. Speaking of fights, you just got into a fight recently and damn near fucking
Fight.
got your ass kicked, right? Yeah, the ring itself kicked your ass.
Yeah, dude.
Kind of went viral, bro. You're a little viral right now.
Yeah.
Talk to us about it. So
Yeah,
what-
no, I was
what
training Mark Gray, and
Yeah.
I'm holding the mitts. People say I was training, like, I was sparring. I wasn't sparring. I was holding the mitts. And, rookie mistake, bro. I fucking didn't lock the cage. Or didn't close, not even lock the cage. I didn't close the cage door. Thought we were good, you know what I mean? And
Did your back to it.
I have my back to it, and you could actually see I'm going, he's, he throws a knee, like the shadow jump knee. And I'm backing up, and you see me kind of like turtle shell my back to anticipate the cage
Bounce.
door. And I didn't feel it. All I felt was the stairs hit my spine. I remember just feeling my back, and it almost like makes you want to go backwards anyway. So I kind of boom, and dude, it was loud. It was like whack, and I was just like, oh, I was like, what the fuck? I was more like disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
It rocked. I mean, I didn't go out or anything. I was a little woozy, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
My back hurt more than anything. But I got up and finished training.
Is it? How long you estimate you laid there for?
Oh, I probably laid there 20 seconds, 10 seconds, but I made a quick lap, and then I went back in the
awesome.
cage.
That's
And I
awesome.
locked the door.
What is the door literally just like like on a metal gate?
It's on a hinge. It hinge and it has like a lock. But
Oh, like a pin. Okay.
pin,
got it.
yeah. But like I said, it was wide open.
Yeah.
Not even. You would think like, dude, I fit. It was like it was bound to happen, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even hit a post or scrape a post. Like sometimes when the door's there and you don't latch it, you still can like almost catch yourself.
Mhm.
There, it's not like a deal.
That's fine.
Dude, if there wasn't, he has like that weight room mat on the floor.
Mhm.
It was just concrete. I might
Oh,
have been like not Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. But I think I tensed my neck a little.
You knew it was
I'm a
happening
good athlete.
halfway
I'm a
out.
good athlete.
There you are.
I think I just reacted. I must have because dude, it was loud, and I feel like I would have my back of my head be like hurt like a bruise and nothing. So I think I'm right.
You're lucky. Now, is that like? Do you do that a lot when you're in there? Just leave the door open?
No, we close it usually.
I feel like there was a fight once where somebody came out, maybe not UFC, but I felt like I saw a fight once where the door wasn't latched all the way or something, and guys came flying out through.
Yeah, it happens. It happens before. People forget to latch it sometimes. Like that, I mean, I had it wide open like a bozo.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Not cool. So you pumped?
For,
You're president.
oh God. Well, yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, I don't like talking politics, but yeah, it's.
Ah, yeah, right.
I love talking politics with you privately. I don't like doing it on here.
No, I'm just saying you're not pumped. I thought you'd be pumped.
No,
So you'd be
definitely
pumped.
not.
Your guy.
We're screwed, bro.
For
We
the
are
old guys,
so
one for the old
screwed,
guys.
man. We are so screwed. We have no chance, none. They've essentially eradicated the First Amendment. It's basically gone. It's pretty much gone. Would you agree with that?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, freedom of speech, you're saying?
Oh, Tucker Carlson's gone now.
Well, he's going to do it.
Dan Bongino, I guess,
He
like,
left
is
because of
leaving
that, right?
because of that.
But listen,
Yeah.
but listen. listen, Tucker, wherever he goes, he's going to get a bigger audience than he ever had. You don't think Spotify or Rumble or one of these people are going to pick him up? He's gonna.
Yeah.
We're going to see videos of Tucker. It's not done. Dude, he's too good.
But he was like
They said he was number one in his medium.
He was like
it makes
the
no
last
sense.
big voice, and he's gone off that platform now, which is a huge platform.
Yeah, but I don't know. Actually, I wonder. Like their numbers are still not astronomical. His numbers are astronomical. He was the only one.
You know who we have left though? Who I think is.
But listen, he was the only one. Like I think Fox News does better than CNN, but his number
by far.
Yes,
bro, by
correct.
far.
But I'm saying like it's because of Tucker.
Of course.
Like Tucker does better than Hannity, does better than all
they
the other.
lost like $978 million worth of revenue in a day because they let him go. Yeah.
And didn't they sue themselves? You were telling me that. What you were telling me?
Well, based on what Jesse sent us, that
BlackRock owns
BlackRock owns like 51% of Dominion and owns like 49% of Fox. I have those numbers wrong, I'm sure, but owns a considerable amount of both. So if Fox got sued by Dominion for what was it, $970 million or something, aren't they suing themselves?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, how does that make any sense?
It's all tax. I'm sure they get when Fox gets sued and has to pay that money out, and they're paying a different subsidiary or whatever, a different LLC. They probably use that as a tax write-off for them.
Yeah, it's going to the parent company regardless.
Right.
So I don't know, bro. I get so discouraged talking about politics.
That's probably the way. Listen, that's the way to keep the money, right?
Mm.
You keep you get fined whatever $900 million. You have to pay $900 million to that company.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could probably say, hey, that's I don't know, maybe not fine.
But isn't that
It's like a tax write-off. Like it's a way to wash your money, man.
But it's the very concept behind globalism, right? They own everything.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the whole thing?
Do you ever see that thing, like say all the corporations, like 4 corporations own everything.
Mm.
Like literally everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nuts, man.
I know. So that's my point.
But I've been seeing people talking about like moving out of the country.
To where though? Where is it as bad as it is? Is it still better?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's better than Canada. Canada would have always been my second choice.
Yeah, right.
I think we're way better than Canada.
Oh my god. Or even
He's a
Australia.
lunatic.
Or even Australia. Obviously, the way those places handled the COVID thing, you can't have guns there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I wonder, like in these other countries, like in the Middle East, you can't have guns.
Listen, they're grinding away at the First Amendment. You know what I mean? And they're doing it in the name of saying these are private entities. So therefore, they go. It's not. That's how they get away with it. They're saying Fox is a private entity. It's not covered by the First Amendment. And same thing like Twitter was. All these are private companies. That's how they do it under the smoke and mirrors. So obviously they're chipping away at that. What's next? Second Amendment. They're going to start coming now.
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see? Of course
They've been forever, right?
We had some breakthroughs, right? The New York Fish and Gun Club. Obviously that was a huge breakthrough. That
I don't know what you're talking about.
that's how we are allowed to have CCWs now. We were never allowed to before because they won that case.
Okay, yeah.
I think what's his name, Clarence Thomas was a huge deciding factor in that case, I believe. And so that was a miraculous breakthrough. But you saw what just our home state did with it immediately after. They started imposing all these state laws where you could and you couldn't, and then we had some wins against that as well. So I guess I have some hope for the Second Amendment still. Some.
Well, compared to other countries, I'm saying.
I think the reason I have the most hope for it is because there's like 330 million guns
In America.
in America.
More.
You can't get rid of them.
No.
You can't. But I think I was talking about this, on maybe a couple episodes ago, right? Just about how much your government cares for you, right? In my opinion. I'm sure people totally disagree with me, which is why I don't want to make this a political podcast, but hey,
Here we go.
Here we go. The amount of money we sent to Ukraine. How much is it? Can you look that up, Andrew? How much money we sent? Is it like 60 billion now?
Yeah, like trillions.
Something like that. I forget the exact number, but they say if you broke that down, right? Obviously, I'm a Second Amendment guy,
you
right?
You have a train.
Right. And
guard
everybody
every
talks
school,
about
right?
how children are school shootings, and nobody would argue with that, right? Nobody would argue that those are.
They don't want to.
horrible.
Did you? I just seen.
But if you really wanted to protect children, you'd put professionals in there, right? Retired police officers or active duty police officers
Listen.
or whatever. If you took the money, just the money you sent to Ukraine, which nobody believes actually goes to Ukraine, right? Everybody knows that that's just wash money, right? But anyway, if you took that money, I think there's 300,000 schools, grammar schools, grade schools, high schools in the U.S., somewhere in that range. Maybe I have that number wrong. I'll have to look that up. But I think it equaled out to like $578,000 per school for private security.
Yeah.
There would never be another kid shot ever.
I just seen I don't know.
In a school, I should say.
I don't know what it was with Obama. I don't know what reporter or celebrity or something was sitting down with Obama, and he was like asking him like, your daughter is going to be dating soon. What do you think about that? He said, well, my daughter makes good decisions, and I have people with guns following them, so I feel pretty good about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's okay for you and your daughter. What about everybody else's people?
There's not one of these people that are, that are anti-Second Amendment. Not one of them that don't have a slew
of armed protection,
at all times.
Right.
Not one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
196 billion.
100.
As of
I was
February.
miles off. 196 billion. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? And again, Frankie, you didn't answer my question. I asked you a couple episodes ago. Why, if a politician makes $175,000 a year, within 5 years, why are they worth $6 to $10 million, and then by the end of their 40-year career, they're worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Can
You want me to tell you?
Please.
Because they rigged the market, probably, right?
Well, insider trading, right? I'm sure that's part of it.
Saying, right?
But you don't think that they're taking payoffs from special interest groups?
I'm sure, but I think more. But that's more that's more traceable. So no, I think they get their money through stocks. They get those payoffs are those stock tips, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they can actually how do they out trade?
I think it's a combination of both.
I'm sure, but I don't know, man.
The electric vehicles, Nancy Pelosi, with the government announced that they're going to now implement all these. And she already had all the
Right. That's what I mean. Like those are the kickbacks they get.
Right. It's just listen.
She out traded the.
I used to be so proud of this country, and I still want to be because I am of, and don't take this out of context, our history, meaning the men that fought in World War II. I don't mean all the bad shit. Clearly, bad shit happened in our history. I'm not proud of that in any way. But, the proud men and women who have served and died of all race and ethnic backgrounds and our country for what our forefathers put forth, right? And have died. Several world wars.
When did we get Maine?
When did we get Maine?
Do you know? It was one of the original 13, right?
How did that work, right? Maine was part, wasn't it?
Was Maine one of the original 13? Let's count. Let's do it. Let's forget. Pennsylvania, Delaware,
Virginia.
New Jersey, Virginia, New York,
New Hampshire.
Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont.
I said Vermont already.
You did it right? So
Yeah.
it's only 7. Maryland. Right. Or the Carolinas. 13. Yep, Carolinas, both of them.
Georgia, Connecticut.
Georgia.
Connecticut, yeah. Was Maine a 13?
Maine came in later. Yeah.
Yeah. They jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when it was founded, but Maine definitely came in later.
What was it? Who had it before them?
You're asking me.
French, probably the
I
French,
don't
right?
know.
No, well, I kind of.
We landed where?
The French.
Plymouth Rock, Roanoke. Where?
You did. You those 3%ers. You probably did. I was in Italy still. All right. I didn't come to America till the 50s, buddy.
Someone said Plymouth Rock is still in the exact same amount of water it was when
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
That's right.
Who said that? That Malcolm X? I think it was.
I don't know. So where would you go, Frank, if you had to leave?
No, I seen, Zuby Music? I follow him on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying, because he was raised, he sounds American.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's born in the UK. He was raised in the Middle East.
Okay.
But I think he did some studying here or something. You could hear his UK accent a little bit. But he was saying Middle East is where he was saying Middle East, Eastern Europe. He said Utah.
What about was where he'd go?
Those are the places. I forget where else.
Wonder why Utah? Because it has such
It's just more
so
of
much land
values.
there.
Values.
Yeah, but that's the biggest polygamous community in the United States.
No, I don't think they're allowed to do that now.
Yeah, they are.
No, I don't think
So
so.
Mormon religion, you're not allowed
no,
to have.
I'm pretty sure they're not.
You can't have more than one wife. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
There's fucking TV shows about it. What do you mean?
I know, but they're not supposed to. What do you mean? What do you mean?
You're saying wait, not supposed to or can't? 'Cause
Can't.
They do
Can't.
legally by law.
Legally can't by law.
Can you look that up? I believe you
Dude,
can. In
legally
Utah.
can't by law. What are you talking about? That's why. Why do you think Mitt Romney's family moved to Mexico and created a Mormon down there because they wanted to have the wives?
Okay, well then maybe I'm wrong, Frank.
I think you are.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was
I
legal,
think you
especially
are.
in Utah.
I don't think it's legal.
Is polygamy legal in Utah? I should say, is it enforced? Because maybe they just turn a blind. It's like weed, right?
Maybe.
Weed is federally
Not legal.
not legal, but they turn nobody's going to get busted for weed. They just turn a blind eye.
Statewide, if in such states where it's illegal, probably you still get busted.
Right. So you're saying polygamy is by the state of Utah, not by.
No, I'm thinking. I think it's just illegal. I don't know. Now you got me second guessing myself.
Well, that's what we got Andrew for.
It's illegal.
It's illegal.
But they used to be a felony. It's no longer a felony in Utah.
Ooh, so
So
now
they've
you're just getting a
loosened
slap on
that.
the wrist.
How do they have a TV show about a guy with?
'Cause maybe,
Because it's fucking TV, Raj.
but
How
is
do they
it
have a
like-
TV show about?
Is it like religion wise
fucking
they're
ghosts?
like their wives, but like legally they're not?
Okay,
Like maybe in like the religion that's how they view it.
I
don't
gotcha.
know.
Who was the one
What TV
really?
show are you talking about?
Who was the
what
one?
TV show are you talking about?
Oh, I don't remember.
Big
the
Love.
name.
Big
Is that
Love.
Big Love?
Remember
I
that
think you're
with
right.
Bill Paxton?
I think that's right.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
good,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Who was the one guy? He was a real sick bastard, and they
Duggars.
finally got him. What was
The
his name?
Duggars.
Huh?
The Duggar family.
Nope,
No,
not the Duggar family.
What do you mean?
No.
Real sick?
He was like a leader in the polygamy community in the Mormon church. He was like a bigwig. He was on the radar for years. They couldn't get him, and then they got him on the road. They got him in a roadside stop outside of the state somehow, busted. But he was like marrying like 13-year-old girls. He was a sick fuck. He had like 26 wives or something. Look him up. He's probably the most famous polygamist ever. I forget his name. Real tall, skinny guy. They finally got this guy.
How long ago is this?
Oh, I'm guessing a decade or better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. No.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
I was in Utah recently. Went to Mount Zion for spring break. It was
Mhm.
incredible.
Yeah,
We had a guide and everything.
that's awesome.
But yeah, it was just so dope.
Best hiking you've ever done? Better than Red Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Rock's sick though. Red Rock's
Well,
sick.
beautiful, right?
It's all to me. It's all you literally drive from Vegas to Mount
Right,
Zion. And
right.
you see the mountains, and they're all pretty much the same mountains.
Yeah.
Like where we stayed like the entrance to the park is in Springdale's the town. It's like just a mile road, and we stayed kind of like on that strip. And like you feel like you're on a movie set, looking around, seeing all these mountains and stuff. It was dope.
What is your most memorable vacation of all time?
Oh, I don't know, man. They're all memorable in their own way.
Yeah.
This most recent one, just because it's so fresh in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah, sure,
and plus,
sure.
it was honestly, we've never did this. We never went away to do this.
Yeah.
In Vegas, we would always hike. We'd always go on hikes. But like this was the sole purpose. Every day we landed in Vegas, stayed in Vegas one night, drove in the morning, drove to Hurricane, Utah, went side by sides, hung out side by side. Then finally went back to our hotel. Then we
Are you allowed just to take that anywhere you want in the desert, or do you have like a guide with you?
we had a guide. Yeah. Well, we had a guide because we had a guide with us the whole week. I think you probably could have just rented it. And there's like a course, kind of. But dude, it's like you're on Mars, bro.
Right.
Dune
Oh,
bug,
right,
up, down.
yeah.
You're like Renee kept getting stuck. Like it was legit.
That's awesome.
And then the next day, we went to Angels Falls, which is like a really famous hike.
You sent
We
me a
went-
picture of it.
Yeah, it went pretty much to the top. Like you're looking over, but I guess there's an extra peak. And the guy was like, "Yeah, if you want with the kids, you can go." And I'm like, hell no,
I'm good, yeah.
hell no.
I don't like
Just
heights.
yeah, like I would do it if I was by myself, but now my kids like, because I wouldn't be. I was like, my throat was my heart was already in my throat.
For
When
your kids, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
my kids.
yeah.
When I'm there, I'm screaming. I'm fucking hit you. Stop knocking off.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, there's no. And you know how women are like, women. I'll get out and walk. Let me out. Like, you know how women do that.
Right,
You ever
right.
in a fight with a girl?
Yeah,
She's,
yeah.
Let me out. You're in like fucking hood.
Yeah.
You know how they do that.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter was doing that on the mountain. Like, go, stop it, pushing. Let me go. What are you doing?
Ooh,
You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, there's no mistakes up here.
exactly.
So obviously scared the hell. I mean, we're up there. We seen a condor.
Yeah, that's the biggest wingspan of any bird,
Dude, we
right?
seen a condor.
Yeah.
2 of them flying. It was sick. Then we go down, and actually, here I'll tell you, we're going on this trail, and it's like a lot of people are on this trail. And in my mind, I'm like, said, why did we take this damn guide? We didn't really need to do this. But the guy was cool as shit. And he's taking us up, and he's, explaining, talking about, just everything. And we walk, and there's a sign that says, owls, be quiet. And he's like, yeah, they say there's owls. We haven't seen any, but this and that. And he just kind of keeps talking to us. And, dude, my kids were actually kind of quiet. They weren't talking or being rowdy. We're all just walking. We're listening to the guide. So some lady comes up, kind of walking past, like, oh, I love being behind you guys. I'm learning so much, Like, oh, yeah. And then we're going, and another lady comes by, and she's like, did you guys see the sign about saying quiet to owls?
Oh, my God.
And I'm like,
Karen.
Oh, dude. So I'm looking at Renee. Usually I'd be like, shut your fucking mouth, lady, because I can't stand that shit,
I can't stand
So,
Karens, bro.
but the guy being with us actually kept everybody in check this week a little bit, that week. And, but I see Renee. Renee's like, are you a park ranger? So no. So Renee's like, okay, then mind your business. Okay, we paid for a guide. Our guide's telling us about this place. Your friend is telling us how much she loves it. Yeah. And then the lady realized, like, oh, I maybe shouldn't have said that. Yeah. And Renee's like, yeah, my kids are being cool. Our guide's doing all the talking. She's like, it's our first time here. The lady's like, yeah, it's my first time too. I'm like, oh, and you felt the fucking need to police the fucking trail?
Right. I can't stand people like that. Bro.
Oh, dude.
People that are so, it's usually women, middle-aged women with a bun haircut that are so
She had short hair.
comfortable. She had short hair?
Yeah.
They're so comfortable with telling you how to live, telling you how to raise your kids.
Yeah. Well,
I don't get that, bro. Short of seeing someone abusing their kids, and I'm talking like fucking hit your kid and hurt them.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved.
Hell no.
Fucking parent how you want. You know what I mean? Can't stand people like that, bro. And the level of comfortability that they have doing that.
That's what I noticed, though. I'll tell you what.
It's getting worse.
When I was in Vegas and when I was in Utah, the workers that worked at the restaurants or wherever, the stores, were incredible, dude. I'm like, it's for real. I was like, dude, these people are like, it's top notch. Even in Vegas, they were so nice. But like the people in Utah, like walking on the trails and stuff, they were not that nice. You know what I mean? They were a little like snooty. I guess people that hike are crunchy granola motherfuckers. Yeah. And I'm by the pool, and usually when I'm out, I'm the dude with the least tattoos out of my friends. Yeah. But there, no one. Like I felt like people were like avoiding me and stuff. I'm like, and like what I come to realize, rich white people are probably the worst of the people.
Oh, I agree.
You know what I mean? They just think who the fuck they are.
It's women, though.
Even the dudes, bro.
Really? My experience has always been ladies. Always.
It's mostly ladies, but the dudes can be a little snooty too. And I don't know.
That waspy attitude. Yeah, it's funny because I love where I live. I do. I don't know why. I can name a million things that I don't like about it, but this is my home. This is where I live. But like you gotta have a little fucking attitude and a little swag to live around here. I go home to Maine and I bring people back with me. I brought friends back there, girlfriends, over the years. And as soon as you get to like, I don't know, Bangor, Ellsworth area, maybe like 30, 50 miles out of where every car that passes you waves. They just fucking wave. And everybody's like, you know that person? I was like, no. Did you know that person? No.
That's because you're the fucking first person that drove by in like 3 days. Right?
No.
They're waving. They're not waving. They're fucking. They're flagging you down. They need help.
Everybody just waves. And I've brought, like I said, girlfriends back. We've hiked like the Rockefeller carriage trails in Bar Harbor, and everybody's and listen, they're from other parts of the world, so maybe some are from Jersey, but it's just friendly. I've gone hiking. What's that up in Ramapo Valley? You ever hiked up there?
No.
Up Union County?
No.
It's a beautiful trail, right? There's a big reservoir. Maybe it's like a 3.5, 4 mile hike, and there's a big reservoir up at the top of this Gorgeous. But I was walking with the girl. I've done it 4 or 5 times, and nobody looks at you. They don't wave. They don't look. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's how it was there, though.
Yeah. I'm like, these people
like,
don't
to me,
even...
like, if I... Not that they do.
I'm like, hey, what's up? They don't even say hello.
Oh, if someone says hi, I'm definitely
I'm always
saying...
like, hey, how are you?
I'm definitely saying hello.
Fucking stare straight ahead, don't say nothing.
But, like, if I make eye contact with someone, I'm gonna give a nod or a smile.
Yeah.
I can't help it. And if you say more, I'll say more,
right,
you know? But,
exactly.
yeah, dude, I don't get that.
I don't either.
But this guy... So that first day, we went up to the Angel's Fall, we go back down... and I'm like, damn, we really didn't need this guy. And we rented bikes, electric bikes, that night, and we went all the way back to the top of the mountain to like a different trail. Dude, that might have been the dopest part at all.
That's
like,
awesome.
because we're on these roads, and the buses barely, the only buses go up there. So, like, you really have the road to yourself, ripping around 20 miles an hour on these little bikes with the kids. It was incredible, dude.
That's what you're going to remember, bro. I mean, listen, life is but a flash, right? It's pretty quick when you think about it. I was looking at, because my son's birthday's coming right up. He's got a birthday in like a week, right? So I was just scrolling through. I was like, I'll make a post about my son. And I was scrolling through. You know, I always get a little choked up when I see shit, but I'm like, holy shit! Like, he's 7. He was a baby yesterday. Like, look at this picture. Like, life is a blink.
Yeah.
And when you're, you know, on the tail of your life, and it's shit like that you're gonna remember. That's your best memories.
I hope so. I hope so.
You don't think so?
No.
What else would it be?
I hope you're gonna remember all this stuff.
Oh, you're not gonna remember it all, but like that memory, that specific memory that is so, you know, cognitive in your mind about the bikes. I bet you'll remember that. You know what I mean? You're not gonna remember everything.
It was cool. We kept, and then so anyway, rented the bikes, and we're all the way up in the top, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck did I get this guide? You know what I mean? We got this guide all week. We gotta take these bikes, $20 to rent the bike. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the hell? But then the next day, he takes us to some off-beaten trails, and I'm like, all right, he was worth it.
That's
cool.
cool.
Stuff that we would never know that's
that,
there.
You sent me the picture of the waterfall. Is that one that somebody could like cliff dive off of, or no way?
No.
Why? Because of the height of it?
Height, and there's no water there.
Nothing.
Really,
Okay, gotcha.
The reason there was a bunch of waterfalls now is because there's so much snowfall in the west, and it's all melting right now. But yeah, he took us to this like cave drawings of Indians from like pretty much cavemen Indians, 7,000-year-old cave drawings.
Wow,
it's incredible. Dude.
And you can have access to it because people are horrible,
bro.
Humans are horrible.
It's literally you have to hike. You have to hike not that far, like a half hour, not even 15 minutes in,
and it's unprotected.
There's like a
because some assholes
there's like a railing right there that says please don't touch.
Yeah, some asshole will.
No one. Honestly, no one did, man. No, I mean, nothing. We see.
You have these wing nuts that go to these museums right in broad daylight.
Oh yeah,
and they just chuck.
Well, that's just different.
Paint all over.
If they really are about nature,
and it's always to protest something that has nothing to do with that.
I know,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Climate change or some shit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was then we did the rappelling. The canyoneering.
That would scare me. I don't like that shit.
Dude, that was the crazy. And dude, my daughter, we did like a 30, a 50, then an 80-foot rappel. 80-foot rappel, bro. And she had to do it by herself, like literally tethering it or whatever you call it.
Nobody's below, belay.
I'm below.
You're below.
I'm below.
Yeah.
So that's even. I had to go down first, and then I had to be the anchor for everybody.
You're yelling on belay.
Yeah, on belay on. yeah.
That's awesome.
It was cool, dude.
You got pretty fearless kids, thank God, because you can't buy that. My kids are fearless too.
Yeah.
You cannot teach that or buy that, or that's just something they have.
They're a little athletic too, which helps.
That's awesome.
We had this one climb thing. Like Tino was going. It's hard. Like it's hard. You're on the rope, I guess, and he's pulling you up. So if you make it up, he takes the slack out. So you can almost like fake get up. Not really climb the rock, especially if you just fall back. So Tino was struggling a little bit. And I'm like, man, it's going to be tough if he's struggling. So he got up there. Then Frankie went. Frankie really struggled. But I was also helping them. Like, I'm putting my hand here and I'm letting them step on my hand so they can go up. And then I'm pushing their butt up. Then I did that. So then Frankie, he struggled too, but he finally got up. Yeah. And then V, bro, fucking ripped it.
That's
ripped
awesome.
it. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, I was able to throw her up a little bit easier. And then Renee did pretty good. She had dope shoes, though. She had these dope shoes. She had these good shoes. And then I was struggling, dude. So I literally just took the rope. I just climbed it. I just climbed it. Fucking.
That's awesome, man. That's something that I don't have the stomach for heights, man. I don't.
Dude, I don't either. Honestly, I was so like, but I know once we were hooked up on stuff, I felt pretty good. Yeah. I felt good. But we had like this one thing. He tied this rope like around like a peak of a mountain, and we all climbed up that rock part where I was telling you about. We went and hit on that line. We're all hooked on. And then he's like, all right, Tino, go. You're going to walk around. You can't see the other side. It's literally, you're on the side of a fucking, like, cliff kind of. And you have to walk around this thing. And all my kids, I'm like, first Tino, then Frankie, then V, then Renee. I'm like, dude, that was just so nervous. I mean, I know they're on this thing. And then I had to climb it, dude. I was like, this is like my
it's a different fear.
My fucking sphincter was
you love,
tight.
right? Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I'd do that. I just did.
No, we were good. I mean, if we fell, yeah, you'd be fine.
Yeah.
But,
80 feet, bro.
But we were on. No, that one. That was the highest one. That was at the end. But honestly, the rappelling felt good. You feel, you literally lean back and you're like, I'm good. This thing got me. I could do that. Like the canyoneering or the rappelling. I could do it where you hike to the top. But if I have to climb to the top, I'm not.
You mean without a rope?
With the rope. Even with the rope. I'm not into the rock climbing because that's just so scary.
See, I watch like videos, and I'm a fan. It intrigues me so much, but I just know I can never do it. Like Alex Honnold, right?
Yeah,
I watch videos of him doing like the what's the wall
El
called?
Capitan.
Any of them really. And he does everything obviously no rope, right? And it's just
He does called
free climbing.
No, free solo.
Free solo.
Free climbing is with the rope.
Free
But
solo.
you boom and you climb up and then you take it off and then you go boom. That's
Bro,
free
it makes
climb.
me nauseous
But
watching it.
free solo.
When they do
is when
those
you
zoom-ins.
No ropes.
Yeah.
That's great.
But you'll see these cameramen who are just hanging off, like feet full, legs fully extended. The whole thing makes me nauseous, bro. It turns my stomach.
Did you ever see this? Some guy, Kingston maybe or something, on Instagram, he had climbed buildings in like the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, with no shoes on and stuff.
Yep.
Like, dude, to the tippy top of the like, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They must obviously seek out certain buildings with a certain structure that, because not every building's climbable, obviously, right?
I guess, yeah. Dude, he's been on the top of, looks like, whatever those in the Middle East, the tallest buildings in the Middle East.
Do you remember? I think it was before both of our times, but the guy was pretty legendary. He used to camp out in buildings overnight, and he would.
Didn't he get caught a bunch of times too?
What are you talking about? The guy with the tightrope walker. He was French.
Yeah.
Right.
There's the movie about that, right?
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but yeah, you're right. Yeah. Speaking of places I would like to visit, nothing to do with sports, or no, I shouldn't say sports. Nothing to do with. I guess technically it's a sport. Nothing to do with me participating. But you ever heard of Isle of Man TT?
Isle of Man TT?
Isle of Man TT. It's a small island. I think it's right between Ireland. I think Ireland's the closest place to it, and England. Small island, but they have a race there every year called the Isle of Man TT. All sports bikes, right?
Oh, sport bikes.
It's the most dangerous race in the world. They call it the most dangerous race in the world, but it's like started in 1907, right? Tons of history in it, and why it hasn't gotten shut down, I don't know. It's kind of
People
amazing.
die every year?
Every year.
Really? How the fuck? Who wants to do it?
2005, 11 people died racing it.
11.
Every year, somebody dies, pretty much, for the most part. Every year.
Okay. Do like big names do this race or just?
Not big names on like the AMA circuit. I feel like those guys don't have balls enough, but like the Dunlop family, the father, I believe, again, somebody's going to correct me, I think the father's name was Michael Dunlop. There's 4 of them. They're all raced. 3 of them are dead.
From that race?
3 of the 4 are dead from racing. Not specifically that race. I know 1 died in another race, but I think at least 1 died in the Isle of Man. They all died racing, but it's street racing, right? But done, through towns, through country roads. I think it's like a 30-mile loop around the island. But bro, it's just infested with people, and I always wonder, like, why has nobody ever run across the road and get hit by a motorcycle doing 200 miles an hour? I've never seen it happen. I've seen lots of accidents where people, crash into buildings and stuff. And
at this particular,
I've never seen a person hit, but I'm like, why wouldn't, Andrew, you in an edit, throw a little clip in of Isle of Man just to see, it's mind blowing how fast these motorcycles go.
How fast do they go?
I think the average speed is over 130 miles an hour and top speed is around 200. Yeah.
How's the fastest you've been on a motorcycle?
185 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was 160. Yeah. It's too fast. It's too fast.
It is, but I have a healthy fear of things. I think I'm probably less fearful than like the average person, especially on motorcycles, just because I've ridden motorcycles my entire life. Especially less than you, for sure.
Yeah.
I've never seen this guy scared of nothing, and I saw him almost shit his pants on 995 one day. But anyway, I wouldn't ride the way I used to now. No way. I rode without fear back then. And I used to ride
smarter,
with
right? You're smarter, and you have kids.
Exactly.
That's probably what it really is.
Exactly, but
I don't know if you're smarter. You just have kids.
yeah. So started in 1907, so well over 100 years it's been going on, and they have not shut it down. So yeah, I would love to go watch.
That's
that
funny.
race.
You said the people die at Angels Angels Landing. They have a sign that says to let people know that this is legit.
Mm-hmm.
You could die. But this many people died here.
By falling.
And they actually took the number. There, it's a blank spot now because they don't even want to tell people.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. What is it? I think it's over 100 bodies left on Mount Everest, right?
Oh, I don't know.
100 bodies.
They say there's so much garbage on Mount Everest.
I know.
How's that crazy? It's
Mostly
crazy.
oxygen bottles. Yeah, those guys, typically the people that do it, right, are in love with nature, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they leave other garbage all over. They say they've sent Sherpas up to get a lot of it, but obviously a lot of it gets buried by snow. If there's 100 bodies that they can't get off, imagine the amount of garbage. Just 100 bodies alone is a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, fully
But
closed.
at least they probably don't. They probably just are frozen, so they're not going to decompose.
Right, right. They get down what they can, but if you're what they call it above the dead zone.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's above like 24,000 feet or something like that.
Oh, is it
Yeah, because it's
20,000?
30,000 feet,
Oh,
right?
really,
So I
really?
think above 24, they call it the dead zone. You can
'Cause the
only
oxygen is very.
exactly. You can only stay. People have climbed it though with no oxygen, not a lot.
Yeah. Well, no. You ever see the guy? I didn't watch it. I need to watch it, but I heard the guy on Rogan's podcast before. I forget the guy's name. Navid. I don't know.
The guy lost his nose and they grew one on his forehead.
No. This. I mean, I don't think so. He's the guy's the climber. He the 14 peaks.
Oh,
his documentary.
yeah. Yes, I
This
watched
guy
it.
climbed 14 peaks in like
Yeah,
7 months or something, which is
Yes.
like totally unheard of.
Yeah.
That dude, they say he's an animal.
Mhm. Yeah.
And he's like he's a Navy SEAL in the UK or something like that, or somewhere. And yeah, he just is just from doing it forever. He could do.
But I think he
up and
lives,
down.
right? Isn't he like?
Yeah,
Is he like kind of a Sherpa already? Like he lives
he's
Nepalese or?
Nepalese,
Yeah.
yeah.
There was another guy too that held records. He was a free climber, and he held a ton. He was a little guy. I forget where he was from. He was like a Swiss climber or something, and he held records for fastest ascents. Right, he would ascend all these mountains, and he ended up dying. He died. He climbed all these because Mount Everest in the difficulty range is not one of the harder mountains to climb.
Yeah,
like of
yeah.
the 7 peaks, I don't know where it ranks, but it's one of the easier ones. Like K2 is much harder
Right,
to climb.
Kilimanjaro? No, K2.
I think it's
different peaks.
Yeah, I think K2 it's its own
Yeah,
entity,
yeah.
but it's smaller. It's
The
not as
highest is Everest. Though,
Everest.
Right?
It's not as tall as Everest, but the degree of difficulty
It's
is
great.
much higher, and way less people ascend, and a lot more people die. But the guy I was just telling you about, I can almost think of his name, Sir. Anyway, he died on Mount Everest in an avalanche. So he died on one of the easier mountains.
Well, how about do you remember the guy's name? He was like the other guy at Alex Honnold. He was another free solo guy. Remember that documentary we watched?
Oh yeah,
And
well,
you saw-
I was like,
yeah.
I was like greatest climber of all time.
Yeah.
Like how he's dead. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I missed the ending. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
That guy. But remember when he beat Alex Honnold's record
Yeah.
without even thinking about it?
Right.
But then Alex Honnold went back and fucking
And
crushed
did you
it.
hear
and
that
crushed it. Just because he's just a competitor.
I know,
bro.
but he's he's the most fascinating climber, I think, to me. Just
Dude,
how,
they're
he
all
started
gonna be
out. That guy started out. He was like from
Which one?
Alex Honnold started out in like a rock climbing wall gym. He didn't start out.
Yeah.
Most guys that do that shit
Live. Yeah.
in that mountain life. He started out in a fucking gym climbing fake walls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He wanted to do it.
And got to be that good. But he said, "I'm not really a speed climber." He's like, "I don't really climb for speed."
Because he's
you know
more
what I mean?
he's more of a calculated.
He's
type of guy,
precise.
yeah.
Very
But
precise.
he's like, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
gonna crush this.
Yeah,
record. He crushed
Yeah,
it.
He did crush it. Because the kid, I don't know why I can't think of his name, only beat it by like a couple minutes. And then he came back and beat it by like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's impressive.
It is impressive. Yep.
Oh, I could use a bathroom, bro. Want to wrap it?
We can wrap it.
All right, why? It's good talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, buddy, I missed you. You were
It's
gone
been
for a
a
couple.
while, yeah.
You've gone a couple weeks,
I
pal.
was.
Can you talk about that briefly, real quick? You were out in Vegas,
I
and
was.
you had no idea they were doing.
Well, no, I kind of knew. I didn't. I'm just in bozo because I say yes to stuff, and I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
But I did know what it was, but I didn't know what it was until I got there.
Okay.
But first, my family flew home. I was telling you this kind of. I said my family flew home. I'm working out in the gym. And, Renee's like supposedly at the airport. I thought she took off, and I'm getting texts from her. I'm like, how you texting me? She's like, I got internet. me and all the kids. I'm like, yo. I never once. I've been flying to Vegas for fucking 20 years now. I never once bought internet. I'm just like, okay, for 6 hours, I'm not on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But nope, I heard all my kids get the internet.
You told me that. That's such a great story. That is a great story.
So they're home. And actually, that day, I took them to the airport, came back, went to the gym, worked out, lifted, and I'm like, let's fuck it, I'll go to Red Rock. I went and hiked Red Rock by myself for like an hour. And when I pulled up, they're like, it says you have to have an appointment. So I pulled up, like, I don't have an appointment. It's like, oh, it's $20, or unless you have a national park ID, which I just had to buy one because for the trip. I'm like, well, matter of fact, I do. Bang, gave me the national park ID. Went hiking there, and then, but then the next day I did Megan Olivia's podcast.
Yep.
So that was cool. She's awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm a fan of hers. I think she's.
I know
special.
Megan a very long.
She's married to.
Joe Benavidez.
Yeah, Benavidez.
Remember when he did a show with Mike Straka in New York for Fox Fight Game?
Vaguely.
It's probably before we this is when we're hanging out a little bit. I used to go up every week and do the Fox Fight Game, and she worked with Straka a little bit. That's when I first met her, and then obviously now she's the shit killing in UFC.
She's got I know it sounds weird, but she's got the best hair.
Yeah,
I think her hair's like always like it's
on point.
On point, always, yeah. Maybe I got a little Megan Olivi crush.
There you
know
go.
What I mean?
There you go. It's not in tall guys, I bet.
He's a little dude. He's a great fighter, though.
Yeah,
he always brings it, bro.
Such a good dude. Such a good dude. And then the next day, I did the Year of the Fighter.
Okay, which is what exactly?
Which is they highlight 1 year of your career, your best year that they consider, or whatever they wanted to highlight, and then you just kind of talk about it. You look at footage. You look at some press conference footage, weigh-in footage, after the fight footage, stuff I've never seen before. Okay. Or stuff I haven't seen since then. You know, so I just react to it, talk about it, and
it's all blind, all fresh.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was definitely a fun thing to do. See some of these videos like after the fights where I'm like upset. I'm like, dude, I don't remember. Well, because of the fight, I don't remember much of this. But dude,
like in the back,
in the back,
really?
In the back, the camera's following me. You see the fight from the difference from a draw to a W is just crazy.
Amazing.
You know,
I've only been in the back once with you, and
you were in this fight.
I shouldn't have been.
Was that you? I forget which one. I'm like, oh, there's Roger.
No shit.
Yeah.
I went to the back after one of your fights, and you never get upset, bro. I never see you upset, and you were visibly upset, and I was like, oh, fucking just give him his space. I'm sure you don't want people in here. Yeah. It was after Aldo. You remember that?
Aldo won.
Aldo won.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, man. Well, listen, good go. I missed you, buddy. It's good to have you back.
Thanks, bud. All
right, pal.
I'd knock you down.
Yeah? You're knocking me down?
No, I'm saying you're probably all high up on a pedestal. Everybody blows Roger. I'm back in town, buddy. I'm going to knock you down.
I don't know about that.
All right.
I had a little getaway where you were on. I went down and hung out with some buddies.
Speaking of blow jobs now.
No. But, no, I went down to Lauderdale. I didn't have my kids this past weekend, so I was like, you know what, let me get away. Went down, hung out with some friends I haven't seen in like 4 or 5 years. Hadn't been down there and had a good weekend, man. Just got away, relaxed the mind a little bit.
Get out of Jersey, nice weather.
Yep. Yeah, enjoyed it, so.
Nice.
All right, pal, good go.
Right.
Happy you're back, buddy.
Always. Till next time.
Champ of the Tramp.